Hey, what up, guys? This is Tony, and this is the Sports Cartel, and thanks you for joining me on this fabulous topic. And the topic for today, I'm sure you saw the thumbnail, is going to be: should Cameron Hanekom ditch the number 8 jersey and actually just concentrate on number 7? And I'm going to be going through 3 segments. Firstly, we're going to have a look at what Cameron is like as a player, his brief history, because he only started playing professional rugby in 2022. We're going to look at him compared to the incumbent, which is Pieter-Steph in the Springbok jersey, and see how he measures up. And then thirdly, we're going to have a look at what is happening with the stocks at number 8 for the Springboks, and does he fit the mold for a Springbok number 8. So thank you for joining me. Please hit a like if you do enjoy this video. We just recently hit 250 subscribers, so thank you a lot, guys. I'm hoping and pushing for the end of July to be at 1,000 subscribers, so I'm going to be trying to bring out as much content as possible. Nonetheless, let's get into it. Cameron at number 8 or Cameron at number 7? You let me know below what you think of this video. So like I said, we're going to start off with Cameron as a player. He usually plays number 7 or 8, especially when Eric Lowe is back for the Bulls, his province. They interchange between each other. So sometimes he'll play 7 and Eric will play 8. But like last year, during the semi-finals against Leicester, he played 8 while Eric played 7. So he's familiar with the number 7 jersey and familiar with number 8 jersey. Very versatile, very athletic as a player, in terms of the running meters that he gets, in terms of meters after contact that he gets. Very good on the floor. He steals a lot of ball. Currently, he's actually number 7 on the URC table for the steals, with 16 steals on the ball turnovers. Success rate is at 82%, so he doesn't really miss a lot of tackles. And offloads is ranked 5th, so he keeps the play continuity. He's got 26 offloads for this season of URC. That's excluding the game over the weekend, the quarterfinal of the weekend, which he really dominated and actually showed his prowess during the time. One of the things that actually was very impressive and had people asking for Cameron Hanekom to actually be in the starting lineup for the Boks last year, that's before he got injured and missed the incoming tours as well as the rugby championship, was the fact that he was player of the match. Now, any player can be player of the match, can have a good game on any given day, but he's been collecting player of the matches during last season. But the one that was monumental, which was very important, was against Leinster in the semi-finals. And of course, if you know, Leinster is practically the Irish national team, and he dominated and was the man of the match there. He was all over the place. He dominated the breakdown. He was very physical in the tackle and hitting the rucks. So you can see that he can measure up against the best of the best. As you know, the Irish are number 2 in the world, so he measured up against the best and the best in the world. So there's no doubt in my mind that he is ready to actually measure up against those guys while wearing the green and gold. The second look in this video, we're going to look at how does he measure up against the incumbents, number 7, which is Pieter-Steph du Toit. So Pieter-Steph has got an 84% tackle success, while Cameron has got an 82% tackle success. All right, and the nice thing about it is that right now the Springbok game plan for number 7 has seen Pieter-Steph attacking most of the time at the wide areas. Him and Siya Kolisi are attacking on the wide areas so they can be able to stretch the defense, go up against wingers who might be a little bit smaller than them or less physical than them, and also be able to steal balls on the wide channels and secure the ball for the Springboks on the wide channels. So all those skills is what Cameron has. So the Springbok game plan currently is actually fitting right in with what I'm talking about, that he should be playing number 7. But let's look at it in terms of how he measures up in terms of the stats with Pieter-Steph. So Pieter-Steph has got tackles per minute, which is 0.14. Cameron has tackles per minute 0.17. He's ahead. Ruck arrivals, effectiveness. Pieter-Steph has got 0.13. He's got 0.32. So that's how effective he is when he hits the ruck. He actually changes the dynamic of a ruck when he gets there. Carries per minute, it's 0.14 for Steph and 0.14 for Cameron. Par. And you know, like I was talking about, the Springboks are allowing Pieter-Steph to play in the wide channels. And by the way, Pieter-Steph's stats are based on what he did in Rugby Championship last year, and Cameron's stats are based on URC in this current period, this season. Pass accuracy. Pieter-Steph has got 83%, Cameron's got 87%. And dominant tackles. This was a surprise to me. I didn't expect this at all. Dominant tackles for Pieter-Steph is 50%. And we know what he did in the World Cup when he smashed the Barrett brother. For Cameron, dominant tackles is 63%. So as you can see, he's not a slouch when it comes to tackling and stealing the ball and being, in terms of his defensive duties. The third section that we want to talk about is what is happening with the Springbok number 8 position. There's a lot of talk that Jono Augustus was actually picked ahead of Evan Roos for the last alignment camp. And a lot of people are saying Evan Roos has fallen out of favor. And I think one of the reasons why I'm saying Cameron should go at number 7 actually goes for Evan Roos as well. Might explain why he missed out on the last alignment camps. Currently, the incumbent is Visse, and at number 2 is Eric Rowe. Supposedly, at the moment, number 3 is Augustus. Now, 2 of those guys, Visse and Augustus, are more similar to what Vermeulen used to be, which is a bulky, get over the gain line, over close quarters for the Springboks. The Springboks usually like a bulky number 8 that can do the close-knit stuff, not the flamboyant or the running out wide and stuff like that. So Cameron doesn't really fit that mold for me. He doesn't really fit that mold. He needs space to actually operate and be the best effectiveness. And of course, you can look back and say Dwayne Vermeulen was actually that type of player who was, close quarter combat type of player over the gain line in close quarters. Now, the guys that were not picked for the alignment camp, one of them is Frankie Horn. And people have been shouting out for the last 2 years about Frankie Horn from the Lions that he should be given a chance. And Evan Roos for the last alignment camp. And even before the alignment camp, you could see that I'm not sure if the Springbok coaches really trust Evan Roos to do what they need to do, which I was saying is a number 8 that can be effective in close quarters. And that goes for Frankie Horn as well. Frankie Horn, in terms of being dynamic, being a running 8, is probably one of the best in the league, the URC. But it still can't even make the wider group, in terms of the Springboks. So I think that is the reason why they don't need that type. And let me just also mention Daimane. Daimane was this flamboyant player when he was playing for the Stormers before he went to racing. And he also didn't get a look in because he wasn't in that close quarter type of number 8. In summary, I really do think that Cameron should look at number 7 in terms of the stats that he's producing on a week in, week out basis are very comparable to what Pieter-Steph was doing last season as well in the championship. That's one. The second one is that he's had a hard luck in terms of injuries. That's why he missed a lot of international season. Not that he was going to get picked, but he missed a lot of international season last season because of injuries. And I think if he's playing in the wider areas, away from the big bulky guys, arm wrestle combats within the close quarters, I think he'll be able to have a longevity and actually suffer less injuries. So looking at the queue, in terms of who's been lined up for the Springbok number 8, I'm not sure he's going to dislodge Visse. I'm not sure he's going to dislodge Eric Lowe behind Visse. And I'm not sure that he fits the mold of the Springbok. At number 7, the guy that is being lined up after Pieter-Steph is Dixon. And Dixon, last season, he had a good season. But when it came to the crunch, it came to the big games against New Zealand, he was nowhere to be seen, unfortunately. End of season as well. They didn't rely on him when it came to the big games. So he was good when we were playing Argentina and Australia and the incoming tours. But when it comes to the crunch, so I think there's still space for someone to take that position behind Pieter-Steph, should Pieter-Steph be moving on very soon, probably after the next World Cup. And I think that's where he's going to settle, Cameron. So I don't know what you guys think, man. I think based on how athletic he is, based on comparative stats between him and Pieter-Steph, and based on the Q that is there at number 8 and less of a Q at number 7, I think his best bet is to actually go and play number 7 and be dominant there, and he's probably going to shine at that position. Let me know below what you guys think. Cheers.